Okay guys, what we're going to look at now is multiplying with powers. So we're going to start looking at what we call the index laws. Okay, so this is the first index law. We also call this the first index law. Okay, and we're going to look at what happens when you multiply two numbers with the same base. Okay, so firstly, an index. Okay, we want to look at what the numbers are made up of. So if we have, for example, a to the power of m, this is called our base. Okay, and m up here is called our index. Okay, and what this means is we take a and we multiply it by itself m number of times. Okay, so as an example, if we have, let's do something 2 squared, or let's make it 2 cubed. So this we can say as either 2 cubed or 2 to the power of 3. Okay, so usually we say cubed and squared for the first, for the second and third power. Okay, and after that we usually say to the power of. Okay, so this is 2 to the power of 3. All right, now what this means is, as I said, it's the base number multiplied by itself m times. Okay, so in this case the base is 2, so it's 2 multiplied by itself 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2, and you would have done this in year 1. Okay, now let's just simplify this because we have a number. This is easy. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, which becomes 8. All right, so this is what 2 cubed means. All right, if we have something like x to the power of 5, what that means is x multiplied by itself 5 times. Okay, so we have x times x times x times x, 1, 2, 3, 4 times x. So we've got 5 of them. All right, now when we are multiplying with powers, okay, that means we're multiplying two numbers that have the same base. Okay, so you can see up here at the top where I've written am times an, okay, the base must be the same for this. Okay, so if we have, for example, b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 2. All right, so this is an example. So let's look at what that means. Okay, so b to the power of 3 is the same as b times b times b. This is b to the power of 3. And then if we multiply that by b to the power of 2, so let's use a different color here. So b times b, this is b to the power of 2, isn't it? So here we have, this is b cubed, and this is b squared. Okay, so we have b cubed times b squared here. How many b's do we have here? We have actually, if you just look at them, it's b multiplied by itself 5 times. So this is now b to the power of 5. Okay, if we try this again, we'll try this with a different combination of numbers. So if I said, for example, x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 3, what's that equal to? Well, let's have a look. So we have x to the power of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, multiplied by x to the power of 3, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this one here is x to the power of 4, and this here is x cubed, or x to the power of 3. And if we multiply those together, what we end up with is x to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we have a rule for this. All right, and hopefully you've already worked it out. So if we have a to the power of m times a to the power of n, to work this out in a shorter way, we just do a to the power of, and what you can see up here with these two examples is 3 plus 2 gives us 5, and 4 plus 3 gives us 7. So it's a to the power of m plus n. Okay, and this is our rule. This is our first index law. Okay, so this is our rule for multiplication. Okay, now what you have to be careful of here is that sometimes there will also be coefficients. Remember, a coefficient is just that number that sits out the front. So let's just do a couple of examples. So for example, if I gave you 3y to the power of 7 times 4y to the power of, I don't know, 11. Let's do something a bit bigger. Okay, so using these rules, you've got to remember that those coefficients, that 3 and that 4, those are the coefficients. So 3 is the coefficient of y to the 7, and 4 is the coefficient of y to the power of 11. All right, we have to multiply those first. So we get 3 times 4, so they're done with now. Then we can just look at the y's. All right, so we have y to the power of, and we set up here that it's the base number, and remember they must be the same. You can see that both of these are y's, same as in our example. Y is to the power of those two powers added together, so it's going to be 7 plus 11. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12, y to the power of 18. Okay, and this is it. This is how it goes. Let's try a slightly harder one. 5m to the power of 4n squared times 2m to the power, or let's just do 2mn to the power of 8. Okay, so again, we start by multiplying the coefficients. So our coefficients here are 5 and 2. So 5 times 2. Now here you have to be careful because we've got two letters. We've got m and n, both the variables. So our first variable m is going to be the power of 4 plus. Now when we have m over here like this, okay, remember that m squared is m times m. M cubed is m times m times m, etc. Okay, if we go up here and we just have m by itself, what do you think that's going to be? Okay, that's actually m to the power of 1. Okay, so you need to make sure you remember that there's really a secret 1 here that we don't write. Okay, you might be noticing by now we leave a lot of those 1s out. So this is 5 times 2, m to the power of 4 plus 1, n to the power of 2 plus 8. Okay, so now 5 times 2 is 10, m to the power of 5, n to the power of 10. Okay, and this is multiplying with powers. Okay, so this is using our first index law. Okay, so just remember this one, and that should be pretty easy for you. This is a nice one.